Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today on In the Kitchen with Sandy we are making some cinnamon rolls. Piping hot, fresh, delicious, mile high, thick, fluffy cinnamon rolls. There, I just summed it all up. They're absolutely amazing. I think you're going to like this recipe. It's probably one of the most simple recipes there are for cinnamon rolls. I mean, it is really easy to do. It doesn't require a lot of time. You do have to have a little bit of time to let the your dough rise for about an hour, but other than that, it's really quick and easy, and you can add anything you want to them. If you want to add some chocolate chips, some raisins, anything you want to add to those. This is an amazing recipe, and I think you're going to like it. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, in my bowl here, I have already got together for you guys 5 cups of flour. I've got about 1/4 cup of sugar. I also have a tablespoon, or I'm sorry, a 1/2 tablespoon of just regular salt in here. And let me show you, today I'm using the Fleischmann's Rapid Rise yeast. I'm also going to use this as well. I'm going to use 1.5 tablespoons of that. Now this yeast, you do not have to put it in the, put it in the warm water mixture. It is a rapid rise. You can just use it by, the ingredients that you put in here, or the measurements that you put in here, I should say. And today we're going to use 1.5 tablespoons of this. I love this stuff. It's been really hard to find, over the pandemic, but when I found it, I just like really stocked up on it. So again, I've got 5 cups of flour in here. I've got about 1/4 cup of just granulated white sugar and 1/2 tablespoon of salt. And we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of this Rapid Rise instant yeast. All right, so I just opened my little packet up there, and this is 1/2 tablespoon. I'm old. I forget my math. And you're just going to add that right in there. We're going to do another one. Yeast is some funny looking stuff, isn't it? I'm gonna have to open another packet. I don't know where my big tablespoon is. So that's 2, so that makes 1.5 tablespoons. Right in there. And then we're just gonna give this a mix. If I can find my wooden spoon here. We're just going to mix that up really well. Make sure it's nice and well combined. Now, if you have the yeast that requires you to add it to water, that's perfectly fine. These are interchangeable. You can use either one of those. They would be fine with this recipe. And then you're going to want to pour 2 cups of warm water in there. You don't want it to be cool, and you definitely don't want it to be hot, because you want to make sure that you don't destroy your yeast once you pour the water in there. And this is just flour that I use to measure out my flour from my flour container. I'm getting tongue-tied already. I'm just going to basically just mix this well, just till it starts forming a nice together ball of dough. I don't even know the words I'm looking for today. All right, you're getting ahead of yourself when you're excited when you forget to add the oil. You're going to add about just about 1/4 cup of oil in there as well. Now I'm just going to have to incorporate that back in, but hey, dough is very forgiving. So we're just going to incorporate that oil right into the dough. Now I'm going to place this in a warm area, just away from, cool drafts. I'm going to put a towel over it, and I'm just going to place it in my oven. My oven is not on, but I'm going to turn my oven light on. I'm going to place a towel over it. Let me wash my hands. Nice clean towel. Like I said, I'm going to stick it in my oven with the light on We're not turning the oven on, and I'm gonna let this dough rise a little bit, do its magic for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll proceed with the rest of the recipe. I'm so excited, guys. While we're waiting for our dough to rise, we're gonna go ahead and get started on the cream cheese icing. You can't have a cinnamon roll without the icing, right? Am I right? But what I've got in my little bowl here, let me show you. In my little bowl here, I've got just one of the 8-ounce packages of cream cheese and a whole stick of butter. And you want this to be at room temperature. It works best. And honestly, guys, if you forget to lay it out before you get started on your cinnamon rolls, that's all right. That's what the microwave's for. Just pop your butter and your cream cheese in the microwave in a bowl for about 20-25 seconds, and then you can get it all mixed together really good. But we are just going to combine this, cream it together until it's nice and creamy. And now it's time to incorporate the powdered sugar. You're going to use 2 cups of powdered sugar for this recipe. And I measured mine out beforehand, so it just makes life easier. So I could just dump it in there. That is exactly 2 cups. And we're just gonna incorporate this into the cream cheese and the butter mixture. All right, that is nice and smooth and beautiful, and I'm just gonna transfer it over into a, just a glass dish with a lid on it. And I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator until our cinnamon rolls are done. Seriously, there ain't no shame in my game. So Olivia's still in bed, so I get the spoon this time. I gotta taste it anyway. Oh my gosh, that is so good. I'm gonna need a minute. All right, guys, look at my dough. That has doubled in size. It's almost tripled in size. Look how beautiful that is. Let me get a nice feel for it. It feels lovely. I love dough. I love to play with dough. All right, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put a little bit of flour. You can use flour or oil. And this feels pretty good, so I feel comfortable with using some flour on my countertop instead of oil. Gotta make sure your countertop is nice and clean. And I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on there, and then we're just gonna roll that dough right on out. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This is so nice. Look at that. A little more flour. That is so nice. Look at the give in that. Look at that. It springs right back up. That's how you know you got some good dough there. And then now we're just going to roll it out. Until it's about maybe less than 1/4 of an inch thick. And it is not sticking, which is wonderful. Now that's some springy dough. All right, just about there. You gotta have a lot of room to work with this. All right, I'm gonna take some butter. I'm just gonna cut me a nice chunk off of it there. Because what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm just gonna take my fingers and just take it right across that dough. You just want to butter it really well. Make sure your hands are clean. which is probably about 2 to 3 tablespoons. I mean, these are cinnamon rolls. If you're looking for something low fat and low carb, this is not for you. And then we're going to take our cinnamon. We're going to open it first. I'm just going to sprinkle it right over your dough. Now, my dough goes all the way to the end of my counter here, so that's why I'm starting all the way up there. And be generous, because these are cinnamon rolls. So I like to do it a little heavy. And just put cinnamon all over it. Oh, it smells so good. You know, if you really wanted to be creative, instead of just doing cinnamon rolls, you could do like put just some cooked apples in there, do like an apple cinnamon. There, that looks perfect. Lots of cinnamon. Then we're going to sprinkle some white granulated sugar right over the top of that. Not a whole lot, but just get it everywhere. Then of course we're going to go right over that with just a little bit of brown sugar. Brown sugar goes good on anything. And again, you don't need a whole lot, just sprinkle it right on there. And just start rolling your edges there over. And you kind of want to make sure that you're doing it uniformly. And then just continue to roll it until it's all rolled up. Now see, this is the reason it's important to make sure that you have either some oil or some flour on your counter or whatever you're rolling it on. I'm going to turn it this way, and you're just going to kind of bunch it together to make sure that it seals nicely. I got one end fatter than the other. Story of my life. That's all right. We'll just scoot it on up there like that. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm kind of take your ends there. I'm sorry guys, this is like really hard to see from start to finish because this is long. All right. Now that is perfect. Now I'm going to show you an easy way to cut this. All right, we're going to use some dental floss to cut this with. I know it sounds strange, but it makes the process so much easier than trying to go down there with a knife. I've got my baking sheet with just a little bit. I just oiled it just slightly on there. Look how pretty that is. Are you guys seeing this? And what you're going to do is, I'm going to try to get this. Let's go down here a little bit. You're just going to take it right underneath it and as thick or as thin as you want. And then you take your, can't see that, can you? Let's go back. You take your dental floss right underneath your cinnamon roll, and then you, let's do it from this angle. And then you just take it and do like that. Just like you're tying a knot. And it cuts it perfectly. Now that's going to be a fat cinnamon roll, and that's going to be mine. And then you just keep doing that until you have all your cinnamon rolls cut. Yeah, I know it's out there. All right, guys, look at my cinnamon rolls. These are absolutely, they look and smell amazing. So what we're gonna do now is, I got one more cinnamon roll. It's 3, 6, 9, 12. This made 13 cinnamon rolls. I'm gonna put my clean towel back over these for about another 15 minutes. Olivia woke up, so she's a little impatient right now. All right, we're gonna let them rise for another 15 minutes, and then we're gonna turn the oven on 375 degrees, and we are gonna bake these for about 20 minutes, but I'll show you what they look like before they go in the oven with the oven on. All right, let's look at the cinnamon rolls here. They have been resting for about another 15 minutes, and look how much they have risen again. We're gonna pop these in the oven for about 20 minutes or so. I'll just kind of keep an eye on them, you know, because I don't want them too brown. And they are going to be nice and fluffy and delicious. And I'll show you what they look like when they're done. My cinnamon rolls are done. Actually, I baked them in the oven for about 18 minutes. And I want you to look how lovely and beautiful and delicious they are. Olivia's over here taking snapshots of them. She can't wait to dig in, and you know what? Neither can I. We're gonna let them cool here for a few minutes. I took them out because I don't want them to get too super brown, because I still want them to be nice and soft and delicious on the inside. Look at that, that is beautiful. Look at that one, that is a big one right there. That is the mother cinnamon roll, and actually this made 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. It did make 13. It made 13 cinnamon rolls. So if you have a bigger crowd, to you know, a lot of people coming over, you can double the recipe if you'd like. We're gonna let these cool for a second, and then we're gonna icing them, and we're just gonna dig in. All right, she has already started on hers, getting hers icing, and I'm gonna go ahead and start on mine. I'll just go ahead and take this one right here. I was gonna go for the big one, but I mean, look at that. Look how big that is. Oh my goodness gracious, she is building a wall of icing on hers over there. All right, just let me have a little bit of that icing. Look at that. Oh, it fell on there. This is the icing that we made. So I'm just going to, look at that. Just rub it around. And you know the good thing about that is you can have as much or as little as you want. I'm a big girl. I'm going for a little extra icing on mine. That's the best part. Perfect. Look at that. I ain't even waiting. I'm digging in. I am digging in. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's just so soft right there. It's so soft. And it's hot. I'm gonna rip it apart. I gotta come in for a bite. Got icing all over me. That's what I'm talking about. Yum. She's waiting for hers to cool. But not me. Y'all know I'm not afraid to get burnt. That is so good. It's fluffy. It's almost like a little cupcake. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Alright guys, you know I love you so very much. You know I love you. You know I love you. I appreciate you watching. Welcome to all my new subscribers. And I will see you on the next episode of In the Kitchen with Sandy. Bye. Take care.